This last race gave me that strange mix of excitement and frustration that only NASCAR can really deliver. You watch everything unfold. You think you understand the rhythm of the day. And then in just a few seconds, everything completely flips. And what stood out most this time is that it wasn't just one story coming out of it. It was two. Two moments, two perspectives. And honestly, two conversations that are going to have fans talking all week long. Because what happened out there didn't just shake up the race, it might actually tell us something deeper about where certain drivers are right now, mentally, competitively, and heading into this next stretch of the season. So yeah, there's a lot to break down today. But real quick, if you're a real NASCAR fan, hit that like button and consider subscribing. This channel is brand new, and we're trying to hit 15,000 subscribers, real NASCAR talk from fans who actually live this sport every single week. All right, let's get into it. Let's start with the first story, and yeah, this one really hurts if you were watching how this race was shaping up. We're talking about Carson Hocevar and what was shaping up to be one of his strongest runs at Martinsville Speedway during the Cookout 400. He started P7, stayed competitive all day, and for most of the race, that no 77 Spire Motorsports Chevrolet had real top, 1.5 speed. Honestly, at times even better. You could see it, the car was planted, consistent, and everything was going according to plan. And then came the late restart. That's where everything changed. Coming out of turn 4, Bubba Wallace in the number 23 gets into the back of Hocevar, and it wasn't just a small tap. It was enough to completely turn him around. And at Martinsville, once one car gets loose like that, it turns into chaos instantly. In total, 12 cars ended up getting caught in the wreck. 12? That's not just a crash, that's a full race reset for half the field. After the race, Hocevar didn't hold back. He said it straight. We got run over. And honestly, watching it back, that's exactly what it looked like. What makes it even more interesting is what came before it, that earlier debris caution already messed with strategy, and this incident just piled everything on top of it. But here's what really stood out to me. Instead of just focusing on frustration, Hocevar actually zoomed out and talked about the bigger picture, the speed of his car, and what his team brought to the track. He made it clear this wasn't a fluke run. The number 77 had something real. Even after the damage, the team got him back out there, kept him on the lead lap, and he fought his way back to finish 17th, tying his career best at Martinsville. That says a lot. Not just about the driver, but about the team behind him. On the other side of it, Bubba Wallace didn't try to run from it either. He admitted it was a misjudgment. He said the 3-wide situation into turn 1 already had him frustrated, and then he just overdrove the corner trying to make something happen. And if you've watched Martinsville long enough, you know that's exactly how things go wrong there. One small mistake turns into a full-blown wreck in seconds. But here's where this story gets bigger than just one incident. Because Bubba Wallace came into this race 3rd in the standings and left 11th. That's a massive swing. That's not just a bad day, that's momentum completely flipped upside down. And with multiple cautions already breaking up rhythm throughout the race, this late incident didn't just affect these two drivers. It changed the outcome for a lot of the field. And while all of this chaos unfolded, Chase Elliott quietly took advantage and grabbed the win. I'll be real with you. This is one of those situations where both sides kind of make sense. But Martinsville Speedway, that track always blurs the line. If you've watched enough races there, you already know, it's not just a racetrack. It's a pressure cooker. Tight corners, zero room to breathe, constant contact. And when you get put 3 wide on a restart like that, even the calmest drivers can snap in the moment. But here's the problem. This is the Cup Series. This isn't just about reacting fast. It's about thinking faster than everyone else. And that's where I feel Bubba Wallace just lost a bit of control, not in a dirty way, not in an intentional way, but in the one way that hurts the most in this sport: composure. Because when you step back and look at it, this wasn't just a random race for him. He came into this event 3rd in the standings. That's not a position you throw away over one emotional restart. But that's exactly what happened. One moment, one misjudgment, and suddenly he's fallen all the way to 11th. And that's not just a bad finish. That's a momentum swing that can change your entire season. That's why people like Kevin Harvick and Rick Mast immediately started talking about mindset. And they brought up Dale Earnhardt Sr. Not for aggression, but for discipline, for control, for knowing when to go all in, and when to survive the moment. Because that's what championship drivers do. They don't just race the track, they race the situation. And look, let's be clear. This isn't about speed. Bubba Wallace has shown all year that the pace is there. 23XI Racing has had runs where both he and Tyler Reddick looked like true front runners. So talent? Not the issue. Speed? Not the issue. This is about decision-making when everything is happening in real time, under pressure, in chaos. And honestly, that's why I'm not sitting here tearing him down. If anything, I'm more curious now than ever to see what he does next, because the next stop is Bristol Motor Speedway. And if Martinsville was chaos, Bristol is controlled chaos on steroids. There's no hiding there, no excuse, no room for hesitation, just pure pressure from start to finish. So this moment, this mistake, it either becomes a wake-up call or the start of a tougher stretch, and there really is no middle ground. If Bubba Wallace shows up at Bristol focused, calm, and turns this frustration into execution, then this could be the exact reset that puts his season back on track. But if even a little bit of that frustration carries over, Bristol will expose it instantly. That track doesn't just punish mistakes, it amplifies them. And the reality is, the points battle right now is too tight for slip-ups. One bad race and suddenly you're not thinking about wins anymore. You're thinking about survival in the playoff picture. On the flip side, look at Carson Hocevar. Even after getting caught in that chaos, there's something building there. The speed is real, the confidence is growing, and more importantly, he left Martinsville with momentum instead of damage to his season. That's how you quietly build something strong over time. So when you look at both stories together, this isn't just about a crash. It's about pressure. It's about response. It's about who bounces back and who lets it linger. And that's why Bristol is going to be must-watch. Because now we're not just watching speed. We're watching reactions. We're watching mindset. And we're watching who handles the heat and who doesn't. So I'll leave it with you. So what do you think? Can Bubba Wallace bounce back at Bristol? Or is this the kind of moment that sticks with him a little longer than it should? I really want to hear your thoughts. So drop them in the comments below. And if you're into real, no fluff NASCAR breakdowns like this, make sure you subscribe to NASCAR Insider Hub. We're building a real community of NASCAR fans, and we're on the road to our first 1,000 subscribers.